Renee, welcome to the couch.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for joining us. So Renee is here to talk about strokes. Mm-hmm. Your mum, we'll just go straight into it. Your mum suffered a stroke back in October.
Yeah.
Horrible thing. She's obviously okay now.
Yeah.
She's recovering well. But we're going to kind of talk about what that situation was like, what it's made you think about now with life, and how you're kind of treating yourself, looking after yourself, and I'm interested in your kind of perspective shift on it. And then obviously you're now kind of doing stuff with the stroke charity. You now obviously we've got a challenge up and coming that I'm very excited to be involved with. We'll come talk about that as well. It's going to be a fun challenge for me and for you and everyone else involved.
Yeah.
And it just raise awareness. But obviously, take us back. October it was, you just said.
It was October.
What do you remember about it all? That day?
Everything.
Go on,
I thought I would have
day.
forgot quite a lot, but actually it's quite stuck in my memory. So, yeah, she woke me up. It was like 4-5 in the morning, and she doesn't really drink, and I thought she was drunk. Like, I couldn't understand a word she was saying. And I was taking a while to come round, and then I realised, like, she was trying to get the word stroke out, and I was like, oh my gosh, okay, jumped up, kind of went through the process of checking, like, the arms, the face, like, obviously her speech, and then, yeah, just rushed her to hospital. There was a massive wait for ambulances, so we had to take her. Did
you have like an initial panic mode when you saw it happening, when you thought, all right, she's having a stroke?
So I actually nearly fainted because I was like, I think it's just the rush all of a sudden. You've just woken up. Yeah, adrenaline. You've just woke up. Your mum can't speak all of a sudden. You're like not really with it.
Was she like over you in bed or something like that?
No, she was stood by the door, and her leg wasn't really working. Her arm was like drooped down. And she was just like trying to talk to me, and I was like, I don't know what you're saying.
You think it was a dream?
It just didn't feel real. Yeah. It just didn't feel real.
And then go away. What you doing?
Yeah, I did. I was like, oh, it's fine. It's not. Surely it's not time to wake up yet.
It's not something you normally like. We never expect that to happen.
You never expect it ever.
What are you doing?
And it was the day I was leaving to go back to London as well. So it was like, as awful as it is, it was meant to happen that day because I was there. That's how I feel. Because the day before she was absolutely fine. Like, you would never know tomorrow she was going to have a stroke. Like, it was crazy. But yeah, it's just weird. Just a weird situation. But you just kind of react. I think when you know what to do in those situations, you don't have much time to think about it, and you just kind of deal with the situation. I thought because it was my mum, I would panic. Like, I'm quite a panicky person when it comes to stuff like that. But yeah, I was in the moment. I guess I just reacted.
Good thing you were there as well. Though.
Yeah,
like,
I know, because she would have been on her own if I wasn't. That could have took
a change. So what were the days after that like then? Obviously, because, you know, the stroke itself happens, and then obviously I know it was quite a bit of a severe one for your mum. Obviously, how it kind of like took her back a little bit with everything. What were the days after that like?
It was a bit difficult because she actually she was misdiagnosed. So they thought it was a viral infection.
Okay. Because
they did a CT scan, and at the time they didn't see the bruising on the brain, which is what will show up if someone's had a stroke. So we were kind of discharged from hospital the same day that we went in, and she was just like, she was in bits, I think, because she didn't have confirmation of what was going on, and they just said in a few days, hopefully you should be fine. And the stroke team like met us and like checked her over, and they were the ones that said, no, we don't think this is a stroke. And then it wasn't until I pushed for an MRI, which she only had 2 weeks later, then they were like, we're so sorry, you've had a full stroke. So it was a long, those 2 weeks felt like the longest time ever, because obviously we didn't know what was happening to her, and the symptoms weren't going. So we were like, this can't be a viral infection. Like, and we just knew, you just know yourself, and you have to, that's why I think it's so important to trust your gut instinct. And if you know something's not right with someone, you have to push. Yeah. Because the NHS are under so much pressure, and it's not their fault. It's like, it's such a awful situation for everyone, but it's just one of those things, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, you're only gonna, you've got to push it, because obviously it is life and death at the end of the day, kind of getting the right information of what your mum needed. What were you noticing then? It was like, what was making you think, oh, this is not what they're saying it is. This is definitely a stroke. What was giving you that confidence that it was that? So her speech didn't go away. Like, it didn't come back. Yeah. It just was that you just couldn't understand what she was saying. She was starting to have like panic attacks because she was so stressed and so scared. And she couldn't grab anything. She couldn't, like, it was her right side that was affected. So her arm, like, she couldn't use her hand. She couldn't hold anything. Like, she would have to be like this. It was just a lot of things. And I was like, this just
it's not sitting right with me that this is a viral infection. So I think when you know someone, you know like their capabilities, and I just knew that wasn't her, because she's 100 miles per hour normally. She'll never stop. So I knew this is just not right.
And what's her recovery been like then since then? So that we're talking October to now, so it's like what, 8 months?
Yeah, she's made a huge recovery. She's done a lot of self-help. I think initially before she had help, she kind of started teaching herself to write. She's had physio, she's had speech therapists, so that's obviously helped regain strength back in her mouth and her hand. But she's made a massive recovery. But I think we've then had a false sense of security with that, because we've seen the physical sides of her change so rapidly, like almost go back to normal, that we forget that like in her head there's still things that aren't right. Yeah. So like memory isn't great. She like sometimes she knows what she wants to say. She like stutters a lot to try and get it out sometimes. Like when she's tired, you see like speech starts to slur again. So it's little things like that you kind of, and she gets very fatigued very easily. So she'll do a day of work and she will be exhausted. So there is after effects, but you just don't necessarily see them in her physical. And even her grip on her hand still isn't that great, but she can write. Yeah. But it's just not as neat as what she used to be able to do. But yeah, she's getting there.
Than my handwriting.
And mine.
Absolutely dreadful. It's not nice to see. I mean, I know your mum, and it's like she's such a lovely lady, and it's never nice to see kind of anyone go through that. What were you kind of thinking then at this point when you're like, fucking hell, God, now what have you got to look after your mum now? There's all those things that are changing. It's not a nice thing to see. What were you thinking about?
That's what I was thinking, because at the time I was 24, and obviously I've got my own career, which I love. Like it's a massive thing for me, and in the moment I was just kind of like, oh my God, this is like my life now. Like she can't talk, she can't walk. So to me, I was thinking, I just had images of me pushing around in a wheelchair, like caring for her every day, quitting my job. Like you go through all those things very quickly, I think, in your head.
So were you prepared to do that?
It's your mum. You have to, don't you? Like that's the way I've been, not brought up, but like that's my morals. Like you look after your family. So I would have done anything for her, but it's just scary to think that my life could have stopped at that age. Thankfully, touch wood, she's made a massive recovery and she's able to look after herself. So those things, even just leaving her on her own initially when I went back to my job was really difficult, because you think, is she what if it happens again and I'm not there? Or, you know, all these different things. Does she need help with anything? So yeah, it was hard at the time, but thankfully she's good.
Did you have anyone else around to support?
The Stroke Association helped. But apart from that, no, not really.
Is that like funded? Like, is that given for the NHS then? Is it?
No, it's like its own charity. Yeah. So I had to contact them, and then they come round and kind of go through different processes, and it's literally the best thing that could have happened.
So what have they done then?
They've introduced her to like different social groups with everyone that's had a stroke, and you see like the different like effects of a stroke on different people. Some people are in a wheelchair, some people still can't talk properly. Some people can walk, but they can't move their arm. Like there's so many different variations. And I think for us, that made us realise like how amazingly she's recovering. Because you look at those people and you think, wow, like that could have been you. Like, so let's look at how grateful we are.
All different ages of people, is it?
All different ages. I didn't realise, but babies in the womb can have a stroke. This is what I learnt from them. So any age you can have a stroke, which I think also is a huge thing people should be aware of, because you just never know, and I think you always kind of think it's going to be someone older, so if the signs happened in someone younger, you may not necessarily think they're having a stroke.
So you do associate it with I'd associate it with my grandma.
Exactly.
You know? My dad had like a mini one. How old is he? How old is he? He probably had it like 3 years ago now. Very mini one. I wasn't really involved in it.
No.
I think he just like, it was a very, very small one. I don't really know actually what really happened. I think he was just like stressed with work, and retired, and then he just had like, I can't remember what happened, to be honest. But I remember just driving past, there's an ambulance outside the house, or someone told me there's an ambulance. Saw a photo of an ambulance outside the house. And but he was like, he did the typical kind of like man thing, stand up, tense, fight it, like why does my arm feel weird or something. I probably have to ask him again actually, because I think it was just super small.
Yeah, like a mini stroke.
And then after that, I think he said his hand and grip was a little bit weird, but he seemed absolutely normal. I think he was just like knackered and that after it as well.
That's it.
But it was nothing near kind of like that. But I think he was having a stressful time. And looking back at it with like your mum, because how old's your mum?
55.
55. I mean, if we're looking at it like averagely, it's still a younger age. Yeah. You expect it to happen. Have you spoke to her? Has she like reflected on maybe like kind of like what led to it?
I think.
Or do you have your own opinion on it?
Yeah, I think we both kind of agreed. Like, she was always 100 miles per hour. Like, she just doesn't stop. She'll always be doing something. She's a bit of a workaholic as well, so I think that also didn't help. But I just think like life stresses. I think she's quite a stressed person anyway. So I think when you're like that, you kind of, everything's like high intensity, like, you know, she's just, constantly going. So I think that really is probably the massive cause of it. She had very high blood pressure when we went into hospital. So that's obviously another side. And also just diet as well. Like, we eat well because we're vegetarian, but I think like snacking wise, so like food high in salt, stuff like that, like that's the kind of side where probably let her down a little bit. But
because obviously the bits I've known from her is like working. I think, was she doing like college?
She was at uni.
She was doing uni like full time.
Yeah.
Working like full time. Looking after you, doing whatever family stuff, whatever socialising stuff.
Yeah.
No sleep or something like that.
Yeah.
Probably diet and that being a big thing. Has she tried to like work on those kind of things?
She has. So I've kind of been like forcing her to slow down because I feel like if I don't, you just go back to like you go back to your normal ways, don't you?
I mean, because you work a job that could easily take you down that route of like, obviously, you know, flying around the world. Yeah. Which is great.
It is, but
your sleep, food.
Yeah, it's tough, and I think this situation has made me realise that, and I've like now made adjustments to my working life where I'm trying to go part-time because I've realised how exhausted I am all the time, and you don't see it when you're fatigued, you really don't notice it, but then my memory is so bad because I don't sleep enough. Like, I miss over 48 hours of sleep a week. Like, it's not normal. So you do start noticing it in yourself as well. Someone else's situation, you start picking up and thinking, I need to change that, because otherwise I could see myself going down that route.
Lack of sleep is a killer.
It is.
I've got clients on like night shifts and it's suicide.
It is.
So your mum's obviously, that's good, she's making changes. What have you, so obviously you started changing your shift patterns. Have you thought about anything? I know you're like a healthy person, you have to look after yourself, but is there any, are you trying to like double down on anything now? Now you've seen, you've had your mum, closest person you could possibly be to, go through a stroke, massively affecting obviously her health because of certain factors. Has it made you think about things in your own life? Yeah,
I think diet is a massive like factor in just being healthy as a person, sorry. Yeah. So I feel like that's a massive, I'm so sorry, I've got really
You can cough.
Can I go get my water?
You're allowed to cough, go get a drink.
Sorry.
You're dying. No, you just talk. Just cut. No, just talk. Just talk, it's raw. Yeah.
See, not drunk enough water today.
There you go, God.
There you go, that's fine.
Awful. So you're now drinking more water.
Drinking lots more water. Always have my bottle on me.
This lives with me.
It's so important. Yeah. Like, I feel like if you just don't carry a bottle, you're not inclined to drink as much. Yeah. So yeah, just diet, being more aware of what you're putting into your body. Yeah. And like enjoying life. I think that's a huge thing, because I think we all get so consumed by work and by like social norms and everything like that you neglect what actually makes you happy and what's good for you as a person, because we all have our different things. Like, what I might find enjoyment through, you may think, why would you do that, you know? But I think that's a huge factor. What do you
mean by the social norms then? What comes to mind with that?
I think just like pressures in life, like it could be anything, and I'm not saying this is necessarily related to my mum, but like I think we all put a lot of pressure on ourselves to look a certain way, especially nowadays. You know, I think everyone now is so guilty of looking in the mirror and just seeing the imperfections and not seeing like what you're happy with, and actually that causes so much stress like in your body. And I think it's so true, and it sounds so cheesy, but your body is a temple, so look after it. Sorry.
You're over here dying. No, it is a big thing, and like, you know, it's normal that something like this in like life is probably waking you up in a sense, and making you, well, you, not like you needed a wake up call, but making you think some things just for yourself for like long term, like, oh, okay, you know, health is actually a thing, because I think a lot of people our age will just neglect it. I see a lot of people, guys and girls I went to school with, getting massively overweight, not looking after themselves, and, you know, some having, you know, health issues such early on in life. I had a guy on the podcast the other day, and he was 20, and he was like 20 stone at like 5'10", like having going scans for like his heart and stuff like that at 20. And I think like a lot of young people that, you know, get caught up like, I've always got to be out socializing, drinking, going out for meals and stuff like that. And okay, cool, do that, but then like, what's paying you forward? What's gonna keep you going and looking after yourself? So it's I think not obviously it was a good situation to go through, but it's like, all right, you're aware now. You
Exactly.
kind of look at these things, and it's good. You like, your mum's now okay now, and obviously you're trying to make those changes now with it all as well. What about other people in your life then around you? Have you kind of like, has it affected them in any kind of other way?
I think
who's nearby.
Yeah, I think people in my life have kind of realised, God, we actually are human, and like things happen and that's scary, and you know, it is a wake up call to everyone, isn't it? And I feel very fortunate that a lot of people, I've been very open with our situation, and a lot of people have also messaged me saying that they appreciate that, because they relate, because they've been through this situation, or they're currently going through the situation. So it's like, it's not only your immediate family or friends that kind of get affected by it. There's a lot of other people that get impacted by this stuff. And me and my mum are both very similar. We're very open with our lives, because I just think if that can help one person, or they've got someone to talk to, for me, that feels like it's not worth going through rubbish for, but like, there has to be silver linings for everything that you go through in life. So I think if I can help someone, like, what an achievement that is through like my own struggles. So
have you been like that since the stroke, or were you like that before?
I think we've always been like that. I quite like trying to relate to people, so I think I'm very open with our life and what we've been through. So yeah, it's always been like that, really.
Yeah, it's good, because obviously you made the video and stuff like that, kind of like documenting everything, and it's evident like the Stroke Association obviously been so helpful, because now you're looking to raise money for it, you know. And you've done, what are you at the moment? How much have you raised? Do you know roughly?
I think it's like 1,006. Oh, just over 1,000.
Just over 1,000.
So we've raised the
charity link below.
Yes, please.
I'll put it there.
Even £2 helps.
Even if it's just £1, and then let Gift Aid do the rest. You know,
every little helps, and that's what I've been saying to people. Like, a lot of crew, I say, if you all donate £2, I've gone way over my target. So, you know, people don't think it's a lot, but it really is, and it means a lot to us, because it just shows people care and they want to help. So
because obviously they've been there to help you, and obviously there's so many other people kind of going through it. Now obviously you're looking to raise more money, and you want to do the whole, you're going down the route that people like to do of raising awareness through challenge. Why did you want to do that? Why did you want to raise more awareness?
So watching my mum, I've realised it's, I think, a massive part of recovery, and I think this is the case for a lot of people, not just people that have had strokes, is your mindset. I think our minds are the biggest driving force in the way that we are in our lives. So she mentally has to push herself every single day to get up out of bed and to know, okay, I'm tired, but I have to push through, or I need to take a break, you know, these things. So I was like, how can I push myself, like, mentally and physically, because that's what she's doing. And then I thought to myself, I'll climb 3 really high mountains. I'll try that, give that a go.
Was that the only thing you thought about?
No, I actually thought about Everest.
You thought about Everest? What, just doing the whole of Everest, or base camp?
Like base camp.
Base camp, okay.
And then I thought to myself, that might be a bit too much of a challenge, and I don't know how achievable that is right now.
You could do that. I had a client do it, and a friend, she did it. When did she do it? The last month or the month before? It's just long. It's like a week to get there.
Yeah.
You know?
And that annoys me, because I'm very impatient.
Yeah,
so I'd be like, when am I there?
Still going.
Yeah.
Still, it looked amazing.
Yeah, I bet.
You know?
Yeah.
It's expensive to do.
Yeah, that was another factor.
It's even more expensive to go up Everest, the whole of Everest.
I can imagine.
It's like fucking 70 grand.
That's insane. That is insane. Yeah, I don't have the funds for that. Right. And then I thought to myself, because I was living in Worthing, which is next to Brighton, so I thought, I'll run or walked from Brighton to London. And then I thought about walking to Spain, and I had all these different ideas, and I was like
that lad that's walking to
that was going to be me, and I was like, that's just also very long, and I don't know realistically if I can dedicate that much time out of work to do things like that. So
where's Renee? She's fucking walking the channel. She's
there somewhere.
Yeah, she's just made it over the channel.
Yeah, so I thought, those probably aren't as achievable as this. I mean, I'm not the fittest person by any means, so it is going to be a massive struggle for me. We did a practice trek and I cried halfway up, and I was like, I can't
what have I got myself in
for? But it is like, that's exactly what I need to push myself through, because that right there is like the mental battle to be like, no, you can do it. Like, you have to do it. You have to.
Yeah. So it's the National Three Peaks Challenge for the UK, where you do Ben Nevis, highest mountain in Scotland, Scafell Pike, highest mountain in England, Snowdon, highest mountain in Wales, within 24 hours.
Yeah.
So we're going up, chilling, and gonna smash them all out in 24 hours.
Yeah. As easy as that.
But it is a mindset thing. It is a mindset thing.
It is. So yeah.
Have you done anything like it? What was the trek? Sorry, the trek is the thing you've done closest to it.
Yeah.
And what did you do? Where did you go?
It was in Wales.
You went to Wales. You went to the Brecon Beacons, didn't you?
Yeah, we did.
Don't worry, I listened to you.
Listened. Thank you.
I was listening.
Someone did. I just turn up. This is my problem. I'm just like, okay, I'll do that. Yeah, it was tough, and he was really good at motivating me, because I can become very quickly like, I can't do this, and then he's like, yes you can. Okay. So it was tough, but it was worth it. Like,
how long were you walking for?
I think we did it in 4 hours, but we stopped for lunch. Like, we weren't like rushing, we were just kind of enjoying the process of it. But it was tough. It's
going to be a big one, because the big thing is sleep deprivation.
Yeah, but I'm used to that. I feel like that's
sleep deprivation on climbing mountains.
Yeah, I'm not used to that.
Not serving
not
people,
altitude.
Serving people cabin food. Like, put your seatbelt on, please. And
I tell you what, it's more exhausting than that.
Please return your tray to the right position. No, I've heard about you fighting people on the plane as well.
All sorts. It all goes down.
I think it's good. I think it's gonna be fun. Like, I've done those three. I've not done it in the 24 hours. I've done the Welsh ones in 24 hours, and that was tough. But I think then when you're adding in, the drive as well, doing one of them through the night.
Yeah, that's
going to be a big thing.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big thing. Now, how many of us are doing it again?
7. 6.
You planned this. I'm just turning up.
Me.
Yeah. 7?
7.
7 of us are doing it.
Yeah.
Is everyone going to make it?
To be continued.
No, I'm looking forward to it. So August 16th we're doing it.
16th.
August 16th we are doing it. Raising awareness for the Stroke Association. Hopefully Tom making videos, taking drones.
He will be taking all sorts of bits out.
Hopefully we can get some good content, good footage.
Yeah.
Doing a little pie at the end to kind of celebrate.
That's it.
Is Mum coming up for the end?
She is,
She is.
Yeah. She's going to meet us all at the bottom.
Yeah. It's going to be good. So have you looked into doing the mountains? What have you researched? So there's like a lot of Facebook pages, which are great, because obviously everyone's experiences get put in there. It's tough. Like, that's the main thing. It's tough. But just like, it's interesting to see like the foods that fuel people throughout it. So like a lot of nuts, a lot of like bananas, stuff like that. So gonna probably make like little protein bars and stuff. So cute.
Yeah. Pack your little lunchbox. Just like bits like that, and just figuring out like, things like taking a compass. Like, that wouldn't be the first thing I would have thought of doing, but obviously, God forbid anything happens with our phones. It's like things like that you need. The kit list is like extensive, but it's worth it. Everything in there you probably need. It's interesting. It's interesting seeing different people's like experiences. Some people do it in like 22 hours. They must be running.
22 hours? No, but there's 22 hours is pretty quite an average. Like,
I don't know.
What's
a lot of people don't achieve it.
Really?
It's like 30% people achieve it.
Oh, we're gonna smash it.
Yeah, we'll be
we'll do it.
within
Because the only
like
thing that I feel can hold you back is the drives.
Yeah,
the traffic,
that's my worry.
Is the traffic. So when you've looked into it and people not achieving it, is they're just not completing it?
They've completed it, but just
not within the time.
Not within the time.
Have they said what slows them down?
I haven't really looked into that. No, but that would be yeah.
But I think it's the driving.
I think
We've
so.
got the driver. We've got the driver locked in.
We have. She's locked in.
She's locked in. She can do it.
She's gonna do it.
We'll just put her on a drip of caffeine. Sleep when we're not here.
She's got to be looked after.
Yeah.
She will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you afraid of doing it?
I am.
Yeah. You're doing training though.
I am. I'm really trying, and that's what's making me nervous because I'm finding issues with my body that I never had before.
Sorry, we're gonna sort it.
So it's, I mean, you know, like knees. Like I've never had a bad knee.
20, how old are you again? 24?
25.
25.
Yeah.
24. Come on.
No, I'm gonna have to strap them up.
Yeah. No.
But it'll be fine.
We'll do some gym stuff.
Yeah.
We'll get you in there.
Yeah.
Get you up, so you're gonna crush it. It's just one foot in front of the other.
It's walking.
Up a hill and downhill.
Yeah.
It's fantastic views if we've got it clear.
Yeah, that's.
Ben Nevis is beautiful. Scaffold's pretty fucking boring. Snowdon's lovely.
Yeah.
Scaffold's just fucking rock. We'll just get up and get it done.
Just,
fuck off. Lake
Districts.
That
one's in the dark anyway.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
Lake Districts is just blow your brains out.
Yeah.
Every time I've been there, it's been miserable. It's like I'm like kind of that person that's never had a good relationship, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I had this bad experience at the Lake District. I'm only ever going to chat shit on it. I saw some people who've loved it. We might have a lovely day there.
Yeah.
Snowdonia is lovely, probably because I've had good experiences
times.
out there as
Yeah.
well. It's going to be fun. But you haven't done any of those three yet.
None.
And so I've done them. I know Spencer done one of them. Tom's done all
Tom's
three.
done all.
What was
just
there
not in the challenge?
Was there someone else who's done them as well?
There's another Tom.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's done them.
He's not done any of them
no,
as well.
He might have. I could be wrong.
Okay.
But it's me and Martha that are the rookies.
You and Martha are the rookies.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got 6 weeks. Are you going to go and try? I mean, Snowdon's the closest. Are you going to go try it before?
I want to.
You want to?
We definitely, if we can't do Snowdon, we'll definitely do a practice track. But yeah.
I think maybe we plan the Brecon Beacons again.
Yeah, that would be good.
And just spend the day.
Yeah.
Up, down, up, down, up, down.
What a great way to get to know everyone.
Up, down. It would be. By the time you're just doing your second route through, everyone hates one another.
Yeah, no one talk.
Just like, pick a mountain range, up, down, nothing too crazy.
That's it.
I think that would be a good way to do a little bit. And then we got Dartmoor right on the doorstep.
Exactly.
I'm gonna start some walks next week.
Yeah.
I've got a competition fighting this weekend. Then once that's away,
you're ready.
Operation
Fighting mountains.
I put it in my diary.
Good.
I put it in my diary. It's all blocked out.
I
asked my boss to kind of get rid of it.
Great boss.
Good. Yeah, that's good. But overall, with the whole situation though, your mum going through all this, like, is it all heading in the right direction now?
I hope so. It feels like it is.
Yeah.
Obviously, touch wood. Yeah. But yeah, it seems like it is. She's got a new lease of life where she's kind of looking at it. She's got a second chance. So yeah, it looks like it's going in a positive direction.
She's back working, isn't she?
She is. Yeah, back working.
Less?
She's working full time, but they're very lenient. So obviously, if there is a day, she's completely. She's graduated.
She's sleeping.
When I fly, this is the thing that I've said to her. She tracks my flights all the time, and I'm like, Mum, you need to sleep. She's like, yeah, I will. And then I get a message, you're flying over, blah blah blah, and I'm like, Mum, go to sleep. Yeah, but yeah, I think aside from that, she's
the only child as well, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm the baby.
Yeah,
so.
The only baby.
The only one.
Yeah, but it's good you're so close, but then it's obviously just like, Mum, relax.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm an adult, I'll be fine. It's all going to be good.
Don't worry, I can cope.
I'm going to get her in the gym as well.
Yeah.
We'll get her down there.
Yeah, she'll love that. She'll love seeing you.
I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
I'm excited it's going to be a good one.
It is going to be good.
Have we missed anything else?
I don't think so. No.
Let's do this then.
Let's do it.
Mountains.
Jojo,
thank you for coming on and sharing the story.
Thank you for having me.
It's not a vibe, you know. It's not a vibe. It's not a good thing to go through.
It's
but
not.
You have decided to turn a negative into a positive, share awareness. Okay. Obviously, you've been there to support your mum and push through it all. Not a lot of people do that.
No.
A lot of people just curl up and just like let things happen.
Mm.
I think you've been very good with this, especially at a young age. It's really, really good to see because it's just been you doing it. I know you've had your friends, but it's mainly just you doing it. And I think that's a lot on your shoulders as well, but you've coped with it very well.
Thank you.
And it's good to see that it's kind of changed your perspective on it all as well.
Yeah, definitely.
You want to look after yourself and you're setting in barriers for your mum.
Yeah, that's
good.
it.
It's good
that's
to see.
It.
Right, on to these mountains.
Yes.
Happy days. Ciao, ciao.
Do it.